The sun was setting over a small town called Oak Ridge. The sky was painted with beautiful shades of orange and pink. Families were finishing their dinners and children were playing outside. But no one knew that danger was coming. A dark fleet of ships appeared in the sky, blocking out the light. The Galactic Empire had arrived. As the ships landed, fear swept through the town. People rushed to their homes, locking doors and hiding. The Empire was known for being cruel, and the townspeople had heard stories about their invasions. They had heard about how the Empire captured innocent people and treated them badly. Emma, a brave 13-year-old girl, was at home with her family when the attack began. "Mom! Dad!" "What's happening?" Emma shouted, her voice filled with fear. She ran to the window and looked outside. The once peaceful street was now filled with strange soldiers in dark uniforms. They shouted orders in a language Emma did not understand. The soldiers were tall with cold eyes and powerful weapons. They moved swiftly, forcing people out of their homes. Emma's parents quickly gathered her younger brother, Jake, and they all hid in the basement. They held each other tightly as the sounds of chaos echoed above them. Emma's heart raced. She wanted to protect her family, but she felt so small and helpless. "We need to get out of here," she whispered to her parents, her voice trembling. Suddenly, a loud crash came from the front door. The soldiers broke in, searching for anyone hiding. Emma's family held their breath, praying they wouldn't be found. But it was too late. One of the soldiers spotted them in the basement. "There's one!" he yelled, pointing at Emma. The soldier grabbed her, pulling her away from her family.
"Mom! Dad!"
Emma screamed, reaching out to them. But the soldier dragged her outside, away from the safety of her home. Tears streamed down her face as she looked back at her parents, who were powerless to stop it. They could only watch in horror as their daughter was taken away. The Empire's soldiers gathered the captured townspeople, including Emma, and forced them into a large transport ship. As the door closed, Emma felt a mix of fear and anger. She could hear the cries of others as they were taken. The ship lifted off, and soon the town was just a tiny dot on the ground below. Inside the ship, the atmosphere was filled with despair. Emma sat on the cold metal floor, surrounded by frightened faces. She saw a woman holding a baby, trying to comfort it as the child cried. She wished she could do something to help them all. But the soldiers stood guard, their expressions cold and uncaring. They laughed as they watched the humans suffer. As the ship flew deeper into space, Emma's mind raced with thoughts. Where were they going? What would happen to her? She remembered the stories of the Galactic Empire. They were known for their cruelty and their experiments on humans. Emma vowed to herself that she would not give up. She had to find a way to escape. Days passed and the ship traveled through the galaxy. Emma and the others were taken to a dark facility, a prison for those captured by the Empire. The guards forced everyone out of the ship and into a cold, dimly lit room. Emma's heart sank as she saw the metal cages lining the walls. The reality of her situation hit her hard. The guards shouted orders, treating the captured humans like animals. Emma felt a surge of anger. She could not let them break her spirit. She noticed a group of fighters watching from the shadows. They were different from the soldiers. Their eyes were filled with determination. Emma felt a glimmer of hope. If they were here, maybe they had a plan to save her and the others. As the days turned into weeks, Emma endured the Empire's cruel treatment. They tried to break her, but she refused to give in. Every night she whispered to herself, "I will not be a victim." She started to pay attention to the guards' routines and the weak points in the prison. Deep inside, Emma knew she had to find a way to escape and fight back against the Empire. Little did she know a secret resistance was forming. They had been watching, waiting for the right moment to strike back. Emma's story was just beginning, and soon she would discover her strength and bravery in a way she never imagined. The Galactic Empire would soon learn that humans were not as weak as they thought. Emma's fight for freedom had only just begun. Inside the dark prison facility, hope flickered like a small flame in Emma's heart. She knew she could not stay silent. She had to find a way to escape and help others. Every night she listened closely to the guards, learning their routines. She noticed how they laughed and joked, thinking they were safe from the captured humans. But Emma was determined to prove them wrong. Meanwhile, deep in the shadows of the facility, a secret resistance group was forming. Led by a strong man named Marcus, they had been watching the Empire's actions from a hidden base nearby. Marcus had once fought in battles across the galaxy, and he had seen the Empire's cruelty firsthand. He knew they could not let this continue. "Tonight we make our move," Marcus said to his team, his voice steady and filled with purpose. His eyes burned with a desire for justice. "We can't just sit back and wait for them to destroy more lives. We have to rescue those captured and send a message to the Empire." The group nodded in agreement. They were brave fighters, each with their own story of loss and pain caused by the Empire. They all felt the same anger burning inside them. They gathered around a holographic map of the facility, pointing out weak spots in the security system. "Here at the east side of the building, there's a blind spot," said a woman named Lena, her voice strong. "If we can get in through there, we might be able to reach the cells without being seen." Marcus smiled, impressed by Lena's observation. "Good work, Lena. We can use that to our advantage. We need to move quickly, and we need a distraction to keep the guards busy." Another member of the group, a tech expert named Jax, chimed in. "I can hack into their security system. If I can disable the alarms for a few minutes, we'll have a chance." He looked around at his friends, their faces filled with determination. "But we have to act fast. We won't have much time." As the team prepared for their mission, Emma continued to listen and gather information in her cell. She overheard the guards talking about the resistance. "They think they can save those humans? They are fools," one guard laughed. Emma felt a surge of courage. Maybe the resistance would come for her after all. Finally, the night of the rescue arrived. Marcus and his team moved stealthily through the shadows, their hearts pounding with adrenaline. They reached the east side of the facility, where Lena pointed out the blind spot. The group crept through, avoiding the guards and cameras. "Jax, now!" Marcus whispered urgently. Jax quickly set up his equipment, typing furiously as he hacked into the security system. Alarms began to blink, but the group stayed focused. They could hear the guards shouting, confused by the sudden changes in the system. "Let's go!" Marcus urged, leading the team through the corridors. They could hear the distant sounds of chaos as guards rushed to check on the alarms. Emma, in her cell, heard the noise and felt hope spark in her heart. She pressed her ear against the cold metal bars, waiting for a sign. As the team reached the area where Emma and the other prisoners were kept, they moved quickly, their hearts racing. Marcus signaled for silence as they approached the cells. "Emma!" he whispered, recognizing her from the sketches he had seen of the captured humans. Emma's eyes widened in surprise and relief. "Help me!" she cried, pressing her hands against the bars. Lena quickly worked on the lock, her hands steady despite the tension. "Hold on, Emma. We're almost there," she said, her voice calm. With a loud click, the cell door swung open. Emma rushed out, her eyes shining with gratitude and determination. "Thank you. I thought I would never get out of here," she exclaimed. "Stay close to us." "We're not done yet," Marcus said, leading the way. They had to hurry. The guards would soon realize something was wrong. As they moved through the facility, Emma felt a sense of purpose. She had once been a frightened girl, but now she was part of something bigger. Together, they were fighting back against the Empire. As they approached the exit, they heard footsteps echoing behind them. The guards had noticed the break-in. "Hurry!" Marcus shouted, pushing everyone forward. They burst through the exit doors, the cool night air hitting their faces like a breath of fresh hope. Outside, the team regrouped, panting and filled with adrenaline. They had taken the first step in their fight against the Galactic Empire, and Emma knew they would not stop until they were free. The plan had worked, and now they were ready to strike back with all their strength. The night was dark as Marcus and his team gathered outside the prison facility. The stars twinkled above, but they felt like the eyes of the universe watching their every move. They had successfully freed Emma, but the mission was far from over. They knew they had to rescue more prisoners trapped inside, and time was running out. "Listen up," Marcus said, gathering everyone close. "We need to get to the other cells and free as many people as we can. Jax, can you keep the security system down for a bit longer?" Jax nodded, his fingers flying over his small computer. "I can hold it for another 10 minutes. But we have to move quickly." The team exchanged determined glances. They had already faced danger, and now they were ready to fight for the freedom of their friends and family. With Emma at their side, they rushed toward the next set of cells. As they moved through the dimly lit hallways, Emma felt a mix of fear and excitement. She had never imagined herself being part of something so brave. She looked at Marcus and the others, feeling grateful for their courage. They were fighting for her and for everyone captured by the Empire. Suddenly, the sound of heavy boots echoed through the corridor. "Hurry! They're coming!" Marcus whispered urgently. The group ducked into a nearby storage room, holding their breath as guards passed by, talking loudly about the prisoners they had captured. Emma felt her heart pounding in her chest. She wanted to shout and tell the guards to leave them alone, but she knew she had to stay quiet. Once the guards were out of sight, they continued on their mission. Emma's determination grew stronger with each step. They reached another set of cells, and Emma saw faces peering out, filled with fear and hope. She recognized some of them from her town, families who had been taken just like her. "Don't worry, we're here to help!" Emma shouted, her voice ringing with confidence. The prisoners looked at each other, their eyes wide with disbelief. Marcus worked quickly to unlock the doors. "Stay calm, everyone. We need to get you out of here." One by one, the cells opened and people stepped out, tears of relief streaming down their faces. As they regrouped, Marcus counted heads. "We have 8 more people with us." "That's great!" He turned to Emma. "You did well back there. Are you ready to keep going?" Emma nodded fiercely. "Yes! Let's save everyone!" Just then, a loud alarm blared through the facility, echoing like thunder. The guards had discovered the escape. Marcus felt a surge of panic but pushed it aside. "We need to move now!" He led the group down another corridor, their footsteps echoing against the metal floor. They reached a large room filled with equipment. It was a control center for the prison. Jax quickly assessed the situation. "If we can disable the main system, we might be able to buy us some time." "Do it!" Marcus ordered. "We'll hold off the guards as long as we can." Emma and the others stood ready, their hearts racing. They could hear the guards approaching, shouting and ordering each other around. "Where are they?" one guard yelled. "They can't have gone far." Jax worked quickly, typing furiously on his device. "I'm almost there!" "Just a few more seconds." Marcus glanced at Emma and the others. "Stay close and be ready to fight. We're not going back." As the guard stormed into the control center, Marcus raised his weapon. "Now!" he shouted. The group sprang into action, fighting fiercely against the guards. Emma felt fear, but she also felt strength. She had come too far to turn back now. The clash was intense, and Emma fought alongside the others. She dodged a guard's swing and kicked him hard, surprising herself with her own bravery. "Get away from them!" she yelled, feeling powerful in the heat of battle. Jax finished his work just as the last guard fell. "I did it! The system is down. They can't call for reinforcements." "Great job, Jax," Marcus said, breathing heavily. "Now let's get everyone out of here before they regroup." With their way clear, the group rushed toward the exit. Emma led the way, pushing through the doors with newfound strength. As they burst outside into the cool night air, they felt a wave of freedom wash over them. "Keep moving!" Marcus urged, leading everyone toward the hidden vehicles parked nearby. The team climbed in, breathless and exhilarated. They had fought together and escaped the clutches of the Galactic Empire. As they sped away into the night, Emma looked back at the prison facility. She knew their fight wasn't over, but for the first time, she felt hope. They had taken a huge step toward freedom, and together they would continue to fight against the Empire's tyranny. Emma had found her strength, and she was ready for whatever lay ahead. The escape was a success, but the fight was far from over. As the team drove away from the prison facility, Emma looked out the window, feeling a mixture of relief and determination. They had rescued many lives, but there were still countless others trapped in the hands of the Galactic Empire. Marcus drove the vehicle with fierce focus, glancing at the group in the back. "We need to send a message. The Empire needs to know that we will not stand for their cruelty anymore." Emma turned to him, her heart racing. "What kind of message?" "We'll broadcast our story. Everyone needs to hear what the Empire is doing to us," Marcus replied, his voice steady. "If we can rally more people to our cause, we can fight back. But we need proof. We have to show the galaxy the truth." Lena, who sat next to Marcus, nodded in agreement. "We have to gather evidence of their torture and brutality. If we can get video footage or documents from the facility, we can expose them." Jax, still catching his breath, added, "I can hack into the facility's systems from a safe location. If we can get access to their security feeds, we might find footage of the prisoners and the guards' actions." Emma's eyes lit up with hope. "That's a great idea. If we can show the galaxy what they're doing, people will join us." Marcus pulled the vehicle into a hidden location, a small cave where they could regroup and plan their next steps. As they stepped out, the cool air hit their faces, a refreshing change from the heat of the escape. The group gathered in a circle, each face showing the determination to fight back. "Let's get to work," Marcus said. "We need to gather everything we can about the Empire's operations and get it ready for broadcast. Jax, you start hacking into their systems. We'll provide security while you work." Jax nodded, pulling out his equipment. "I'll need a few minutes to access their network. It might take some time, but I'll do my best." While Jax worked, the others began to prepare for the message they would send out to the galaxy. Emma looked around at the people she had fought beside. Each one had their own story of pain and loss caused by the Empire, and she felt a sense of unity among them. "Let's share our stories," Emma suggested. "When we broadcast, we should each tell what we've been through. It will make our message more powerful." The group nodded, feeling the weight of their shared experiences. One by one, they began to tell their stories. Lena spoke about her family who had been taken from her during a raid. Marcus shared his past battles against the Empire and how they had destroyed his home planet. As each story unfolded, Emma listened, feeling the anger and pain in their voices. She could feel the strength in their words, and she knew that together they could make a difference. After several tense minutes, Jax looked up from his device. "I've got access!" "I'm in the security system." His fingers danced over the keyboard, bringing up various feeds. "I can pull footage from the prison right now." "Do it!" Marcus urged, excitement building in the group. Jax quickly retrieved the video files, displaying the scenes of guards mistreating prisoners and the fear etched on their faces. Emma's heart ached at the sight, but she knew this was the truth they needed to expose. "This is it," Jax said, his voice filled with urgency. "I'll start the broadcast now." As Jax set up the transmission, Emma felt a mix of fear and hope. This was their chance to show the galaxy the truth about the Empire. "We have to make it clear that this cannot continue. We need to call for help. Everyone deserves to know what is happening," Marcus agreed. "Let's make it count." With a final click, Jax activated the broadcast. The screen lit up with their faces, and Emma could see the intensity in everyone's eyes. "People of the galaxy," Marcus began, his voice strong and unwavering. "We are here to tell you the truth about the Galactic Empire. They have tortured innocent lives, and we will not stand for it anymore." One by one, they shared their stories, voices filled with emotion. Emma spoke last, her heart racing. "I was taken from my home, tortured, and treated like an animal. But we escaped, and now we're here to warn you all. The Empire is not invincible. Together we can stop them." As their message echoed across the galaxy, Emma felt a sense of empowerment. They were no longer victims. They were warriors fighting for their freedom. The spark of hope ignited, and she knew that others would join their cause. As the broadcast ended, they huddled together, ready to take on whatever came next. They had sent their message, and the fight for freedom had only just begun. The atmosphere was tense as Marcus and his team prepared for the final showdown against the Galactic Empire. After broadcasting their message, they had received an overwhelming response. People from all corners of the galaxy had joined their cause, eager to fight against the oppression of the Empire. They had gathered at a hidden base on a remote planet, ready to launch a counterattack. Emma stood among her friends, her heart pounding with anticipation. She felt both fear and excitement. This was it, the moment they had been fighting for. She looked at Marcus, who was briefing the team. His voice was calm but filled with determination. "We have allies, but we need to strike hard and fast. The Empire will not expect us to hit back so soon. We have the element of surprise on our side," he said, glancing at the group. "We'll split into teams. Jax will lead the tech team to disable their defenses, while the rest of us will attack from the ground. We'll hit the main base where they keep their forces and command center." Emma felt a surge of courage as she listened. "What if we can get to the control room? We can take over their systems and broadcast our message again, showing the galaxy we are serious." "Exactly," Marcus replied, a proud smile on his face. "If we can do that, we might be able to turn their own technology against them." As they suited up for battle, Emma took a deep breath. This was her chance to fight for her freedom and for everyone who had suffered at the hands of the Empire. The team boarded their ships, hearts racing with determination. As they flew toward the Empire's base, the excitement and tension in the air were palpable. Emma sat next to Jax, who was busy preparing his equipment. "Are you ready?" she asked, trying to mask her nerves. "I'm ready," Jax replied, his eyes focused. "I've got a plan for when we land. We'll be in and out before they know what hit them." When they reached the surface, the group disembarked, weapons ready. The base loomed ahead, its dark structure menacing against the bright sky. "Stick together," Marcus ordered. "We move as one." They advanced cautiously, staying low and quiet. As they approached the entrance, Jax worked on the security system, quickly disabling the cameras and alarms. "We're in," he whispered, and the group slipped inside. The interior of the base was cold and sterile, filled with blinking lights and metallic walls. Emma's heart raced as they moved deeper into the heart of the Empire's operations. They encountered a few guards, and the team swiftly took them down, showcasing their hard-earned skills. As they reached the control room, Marcus gestured for silence. "This is it. We'll set up here," he said, motioning to Jax to get to work. Jax plugged in his device, fingers flying over the keyboard. "I'll take control of their systems. Just keep an eye out for more guards," he said, sweat beading on his forehead. Emma and the others stood guard, weapons drawn. They could hear the faint sounds of footsteps approaching. "They're coming!" one of the team members whispered urgently. "Jax, hurry!" Marcus urged, eyes darting to the door. Just as they finished, the door burst open, and a group of guards charged in. "Intruders!" one of them shouted. The room exploded into chaos as shots rang out, and Emma felt adrenaline surge through her veins. She fought fiercely, using every move she had learned. The battle was intense, but the determination of Emma and her team pushed them forward. They worked together seamlessly, protecting one another as they fought off the guards. Finally, the last guard fell, and the team took a moment to catch their breath. "That was close," Emma said, wiping sweat from her forehead. Jax looked up, his eyes gleaming. "I did it! I have control of their system. We can broadcast again." Marcus nodded, pride evident on his face. "Do it. Show the galaxy who we are and what we stand for." Jax activated the system, and the screens lit up. The faces of Emma and her friends filled the screens, broadcasting live across the galaxy. "People of the galaxy!" Emma began, her voice strong and clear. "We are fighting for our freedom. The Galactic Empire has caused pain and suffering for too long. We will not back down. Join us and let's take a stand together." As they spoke, the atmosphere shifted. A feeling of unity and strength enveloped the room. Emma's heart swelled with hope. They had come so far, and now they were rallying others to their cause. Suddenly, alarms blared through the base. "They're calling for reinforcements!" Marcus shouted. "We need to get out of here!" Jax quickly disconnected from the system. "Let's move!" As they sprinted toward the exit, Emma felt the weight of their mission. They had ignited a spark of rebellion, and they were not alone. The battle was not just for them, but for everyone who had suffered under the Empire's rule. They burst outside into the daylight, ready to fight for their freedom and a better future. The final battle had begun, and Emma knew they were just getting started. The hope of a galaxy united against tyranny burned bright, and she was ready to fight for it.